How many of you feel apprehensive when it comes to drafting a plaint, a written statement, a judgment, or even when it comes to solving a problem-based question? Recently, the state of HP and other states have revisited their old pattern and have asked students to draft a plaint, a written statement in their mains examination for judicial services. It is often seen that students fear drafting pleadings and they are also apprehensive when it comes to solving a question which is problem based question. Let me give you a nugget on how to overcome this stress and fear before I share the template of drafting a plaint with you. The stress and fear does not come when you actually are doing what you are supposed to be doing. But the stress and fear comes when you don't do what you are supposed to be doing. आपको डर तब नहीं लगता है, आपको स्ट्रेस तब नहीं आता है जब आप एक्चुअली अपना काम सही तरीके से और रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के साथ कर रहे हैं. बट आपको डर तब लगता है जब आप वो काम नहीं करते हैं जो आपको करना चाहिए. How many of you can actually resonate with what I said? If yes, then type me in the comment section. So in this video, I will give you a very simple template of how to draft a plaint. All of you, please go and grab a notebook, a pen, and a CPC Bear Act and take a lot of notes. And if you want me to share a template on written statement, judgment writing, or even how to draft an answer for a problem-based question, then you can drop a comment in the comment section. So before I share a template on how to draft a plaint, let's first go to the Bear Act of Civil Procedure Code. Kindly go to Order 7, Rule 1. Order 7, Rule 1 states particulars to be contained in the plaint. So you don't have to go anywhere. The template is itself given in your Civil Procedure Code. It says that the plaint shall contain. जो एक plaint है, उसके अंदर क्या-क्या होना चाहिए? सबसे पहला, the name of the court. So you have to give the details of the name of the court in which the suit is to be brought. For example, you state that in the Court of Civil Judge, Junior Division, Shimla, Himachal Pradesh. So that is the name of the court in which you want to file the plaint. After you have mentioned the plaint right on top, then the second thing that you will mention is the details of the party, the description of the parties. That is the plaintiff and the defendant. So you will give the name, the description, and place of residence. In description, you will give his age, the son of. तो आप plaintiff की पूरी डिटेल देंगे कि उस plaintiff का नाम क्या है, उसकी age क्या है, कहाँ रहता है वो. Similarly, for defendant also, you will give all the details. So that's going to be the second point. After you have given the name of the court, you have given the name of the parties, then the next thing, the third point is that you will be giving the facts of the case. So while you are mentioning the facts, there are going to be certain facts which are subject to change. And there are certain facts which are static. The facts which are static, they are already mentioned under Rule 1, like the fact relating to cause of action, the fact that is showing the jurisdiction, that the court has jurisdiction, the fact of the limitation, that the suit is not barred by limitation, the fact that what is the value of the subject matter, and according to the value of the subject matter, you will also give the court fee. So these are few static facts. ये आपके कुछ static facts हैं, which are not subject to change. And apart from this, there are certain other facts which are subject to change. Like for example, A and B entered into a contract on so and so date. A lended so and so much amount of money to B. B had to return that amount on so and so date. So these are all the facts which are subject to change. तो ये सारे facts भी आप अपनी plaint में mention करेंगे. These are the material facts which the plaintiff will allege in his plaint so as to prove his cause of action. So apart from those material facts, you will also mention about the static facts. And apart from this, you can also mention about Order 6 Rule 11 states that if the parties have served a notice, in that case you will also mention about the notice. कि हाँ जी हमने notice भी serve किया था before filing this plaint. Order 6 Rule 11 notice. Wherever it is material to allege notice to any person of any fact, matter or thing, it shall be, it is compulsory, sufficient to allege such notice as a fact. So this also must be mentioned in the plaint. After you have mentioned the facts, then you will claim the relief that you want from the court, the prayer clause. And after the relief is claimed by the parties, we are going to close it by a verification, which is given under Order 6, Rule 15. So if you go to Order 6, Rule 15, it states verification of pleadings. So every plaint needs to be verified at its foot. It states, I'm reading Rule 15, save as otherwise provided by any law for the time being in force, every pleading means the plaintiff's pleading is called the plaint and the defendant's pleading is called the written statement. तो चाहे वो plaint है चाहे वो written statement है, it shall be verified at the foot by the party or by one of the parties pleading or by some other person proved to the satisfaction of the court to be acquainted with the facts of the case. So who is acquainted with the facts of the case? It is the witness. So it is either the party who can verify or some other person who is acquainted with the facts of the case. And apart from the verification, Order 6, Rule 15, Sub-Rule 4 also states the person verifying the pleading shall also furnish an affidavit in support of his pleading. So अभी जो है affidavit उन्होंने compulsory कर लिया है. आप अगर देखें अपना Sub-Rule 4, वहां पे इसका footnote भी दिया है. So this has come by an amendment in the year 1999 with effect from 2002. So जब CPC draft हुआ था 1908 में, उस टाइम पे सिर्फ प्लेंट को हम वेरीफाई करते थे और 2002 में वेरिफिकेशन के साथ साथ आपका एफिडेविट भी जो है कंपलसरी कर दिया गया है. एंड इसके ऊपर जो लैंडमार्क केस लॉ है दैट इज सेलम एडवोकेट बार एसोसिएशन वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ तमिलनाडु. नाउ ऑल दिस इज गिवन इन योर सिविल प्रोसीजर कोड. अब अगर हम देखें कि हम प्लेंट को ड्राफ्ट कैसे करेंगे, तो सबसे पहले वी विल मेंशन द नेम ऑफ द कोर्ट. Name of the court. So this is your template for drafting a plaint. So you're going to give the name of the court. यहाँ पे आप जब court का name दें, then you must give the details of the court basically. The details of the court in which you are filing the suit. And along with this, you can also mention the suit number. So that's the first point. कि आपने कोर्ट का नाम देना है और आपने साथ में यहाँ पे सूट नंबर देना है. सेकंड, आफ्टर यू हैव मेंशन्ड द नेम ऑफ द कोर्ट, यू विल गिव द डिटेल्स ऑफ द पार्टीज. सो जब आप डिटेल्स देंगे पार्टीज के, दैट इज द प्लेंटिफ एंड द डिफेंडेंट. So what you're going to mention in details, you're going to mention the name, the age, son of, and residence of. So that's going to be the second point. After you have given the details of the parties, so the third that you're going to give is the facts. And in the facts, we are going to have, as I mentioned, कि जो facts है वो आपके या तो कुछ ऐसे facts होंगे which are subject to change and there are some other facts which will remain static. और जो facts static रहेंगे उसमें हम अभी हमने देखा कि Order 7 Rule 11 में जो है the fact regarding jurisdiction, the fact regarding cause of action, the fact regarding limitation, ऑर्डर 6 में आपका नोटिस के बारे में मेंशन किया है. ऑर्डर 6 रूल 11 टॉक्स अबाउट नोटिस. एंड फाइनली द वैल्यूएशन, value of the subject matter plus the court fee. So all these will be mentioned in the fact. And ये सारा कहाँ दिया है? This is all given under Order 7, Rule 11. After you have mentioned the facts, then finally you're going to ask the court what you really want. That is the relief or the prayer. और relief मांगने के बाद आप उसको फिर वेरीफाई करेंगे. वेरिफिकेशन कहाँ दिया है सीपीसी में? इट इज गिवन अंडर ऑर्डर 6 रूल 15. एंड आफ्टर वेरिफिकेशन यू विल फाइनली गिव एन एफिडेविट. This has come from an amendment in the year 1999 with effect from 2000. Verification, affidavit, relief and prayer. And the facts. So when you're going for the exam and you're asked to draft a plaint, it is a simple template. इस हर एक पॉइंट पे आपको मार्क्स मिलेंगे. So basically जैसे हम स्कूल टाइम में एप्लीकेशंस ड्राफ्ट करते थे या एक फॉर्मल लेटर सीखते थे तो फॉर्मेट के ऊपर हमें मार्क्स मिलते थे, तो इसी तरीके से ये भी जो प्लेंट है इसमें what you are writing inside the plaint is important, but जो आपको मार्क्स मिलते हैं, जो आपका स्कोरिंग एरिया है, that is this template. You can remember this simple template by the name of the court, the parties, the facts, the relief, verification and affidavit. So NPF RVA, NPF RVA. तो आपने इसको याद रखना है और इसी के अकॉर्डिंगली अपनी प्लेंट ड्राफ्ट करनी है. Now if I also take up one sample question which you can practice on your own, but I will quickly run you down because I've already framed a plaint for you. Because ये जो अभी मैंने आपको टेम्पलेट दिया है ये एक बेसिक टेम्पलेट है. इसके अलावा there are certain circumstances where probably जो डिफेंडेंट है he may be a corporation or a central government, or plaintiff जो है वो कोई you want it's a railway or it's a state government who wants to sue. In that case you will have to change accordingly. तो वहां पे आपको names जो है accordingly change करना पड़ेगा. and जो आपको plaint draft करनी है तो वहां पे जो parties का नाम होगा that will be as per section 80. So if you see section 80 of your CPC, it clearly states that in a case of a suit against the central government, मतलब अगर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के अगेंस्ट आपने सूट फाइल करना है, that means when the central government is a defendant, in that case you're going to file or you're going to address the defendant as secretary to that government. उसका एक exception है, that is where it relates to railways. In case you want to sue railway, Clause B states, in case of a suit against the central government, but where it relates to railway, then you're going to address it to the general manager of that railway. Thirdly, in case you want to sue the government of state of Jammu and Kashmir, in that case, you're going to address it to the chief secretary to that government or any other officer authorized by that government in this behalf. And lastly, if you want to file a suit against any other state government, तब आप address करेंगे the secretary to that government or the collector of the district. So then the parties will change. ये special circumstances हैं जहाँ पे parties would change. Parties जो है वहाँ पे, like for example, if I take some more circumstances, like in case the plaintiff or the defendant happens to be a minor, or he happens to be a person of an unsound mind, then he is going to file a suit through his next friend or a guardian. So वहाँ पे भी फिर parties का नाम change होगा. Similarly, I'm taking up a sample question which was recently asked in the HP Judicial Services examination. in their mains civil law 1, you can pause the video and read the question which I have mentioned in the description box. I'm sharing a sample plaint with all of you using the same template that I had just now shared. So in this case, first of all, we are going to mention the name of the court. So that is in the court of the Civil Judge Senior Division, Shimla, Himachal Pradesh. After we have mentioned the plaint, we will mention the suit number. And just below that, we will also refer to the date of filing. And then the name of the parties. Here in this case, we have Mr. RamPrasad, son of, age, residence of Shimla. And he is the plaintiff. So we are going to mention the plaintiff. Then we are going to mention the details of the defendant. In this case, we have ABC University, Himachal Pradesh, through its registrar, Shimla. And he is the defendant. So the first was the name of the court. Second is the details of the parties. Then third, we have the facts. So respectfully, Shwet. From here, we are going to start with the facts. That is, the plaintiff, Mr. RamPrasad, is the rightful owner of the building, measuring approximately 46,000 square feet, situated at Shimla, Himachal Pradesh. That's the first fact. कि उसके पास इतनी property है Mr. RamPrasad के पास. Then we are going to mention that the defendant, ABC University, Himachal Pradesh, is a state university established under the relevant act, having its office at so-and-so place. Then we are going to mention about the lease agreement. After we have mentioned about the lease agreement that both the parties entered on what date and for what consideration amount, then we are going to mention the next fact that the defendant has converted the property into a boys' hostel. So these are certain facts जो plaintiff allege कर रहा है to prove his cause of action. इनको हम कहते हैं material facts. These are the basic facts that should be there in the plaint and also the written statement in case the defendant is defending his case. जो भी उसके facts important है उसको अपना defense बनाने के लिए उनको material facts कहते हैं. Next he is going to mention is the notice, that he has given the notice to vacate. And then, yes, he had already served one notice in September 2022. Then he had sent another notice, that was a legal notice, in October 2022. After serving these two notices, the defendant has declined to vacate the plaintiff's premises. After the notice, we have mentioned about the cause of action, that the cause of action arises from the defendant's refusal to vacate the property despite repeated requests and the service of the legal notice. After we have mentioned and disclosed the cause of action, we are going to mention about the jurisdiction, that this honorable court has the jurisdiction. So after the jurisdiction, we are going to mention about the limitation, and then the court fee and the valuation, and finally the relief sought. So this is going to come under, ये आपके चार चीजें कवर हो गई हैं, name of the court, description of the parties, the facts, and finally the relief that has been claimed by the parties. And finally the relief that has been claimed by the plaintiff. उसके बाद हम mention करेंगे verification, and in verification he is going to verify, and towards the left hand side we are going to have the date, and just below the date we are going to mention the place, and here towards right we are going to have the plaintiff's signature. Similarly for affidavit also, we are going to draft an affidavit, and after writing an affidavit we are going to have the plaintiff's signature towards the right side. In the affidavit also, we have to verify the affidavit. So that's going to be right in the end. So I hope all of you have got a clear insight on how to draft a plaint with a simple template. So just follow these simple 6 steps and you will be able to draft a plaint. If you found this video to be informative, please do not forget to subscribe, like and share to our YouTube channel, EJ Law Academy. Thank you.